Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On July 30th, 2017, Hunter Biden wrote to his Chinese business associate, Raymond Zhao, "I'm sitting here with my father, and we would like to understand why the commitment made has not been fulfilled." Mr. Bobulinski, why did Raymond Zhao work for who did Raymond Zhao work for when this message was sent?
Raymond Zhao worked for Director Zhang at CEFC.
Is CEFC connected to the Chinese Communist Party?
It is.
Is CEFC a corrupt organization?
It was.
From your perspective, what had occurred with CEFC from the end of May to this July 30th text message?
Well, it's tough to go through all these details in 20-second clips, but at the end of July, it's important to note Jim Biden was broke, Hunter Biden was broke, published by the brave whistleblower Shapley and Ziegler, and Hunter made the conscious decision to basically defraud the partners of Sinohawk Holdings and Oneida because he needed money immediately. They've published pages of text messages where he's trying to get money into his bank account. And so that night, for whatever reason, on the 30th, when he asked why hasn't the commitment been fulfilled, the commitment he's talking about is actually the $10 million funding into Sinohawk Holdings, LLC. Really key point. But the next day, he decides that he's going to defraud Sinohawk Holdings and Oneida, create a new entity called Hudson West 3. Well, actually, change Hudson West 3. It had already previously been created by the Chinese, and make himself a 50% owner in that entity. So when the Chinese did send money, he would have instant access to it. Really important, backed up with tens of pages of communications. He wanted to get access to the money the second it came in. And in Sinohawk Holdings and Oneida Holdings, he did not have that power. I just want to address one thing real quick. Hunter Biden represents, he's a governance expert. That's why Burisma put him on the board. Well, he obviously can't do basic math. The board of Oneida Holdings had 7 votes. Each one of them, Hunter, Jim Biden, James Guillory, and Rob Walker, had a single vote. I had 3 votes. I have a master's degree in electrical and nuclear engineering. I think I can do math. I had 3, they had 4. They controlled Oneida Holdings. So Hunter Biden's representations that I was trying to take the business from them or I didn't know is all a sham and a misrepresentation. He wanted money in his account instantly, and that's why he shook down the Chinese, and they were willing to send him that $5 million because they viewed it as a bribe to the Biden family. They say it in their own communications.
Are you aware or not that they pay taxes on any of that?
I can only go from public testimony. I was not involved in their taxes.
Okay. On July 31st, the next day, Hunter says he hopes Kevin should know that the plan to speak is highly confidential. And Raymond Zhao responded, CEFC is willing to cooperate with the family and the priorities to solve the problems mentioned last night. What family was Raymond Zhao talking about? Was it the Bidens?
The family was the Biden family, and more importantly in that text is what is he talking about is the confidential matter. The confidential matter he's talking about were 4 sealed indictments in the SDNY where they were about to indict executives of CEFC that we now know. I didn't know that in July of 2017, but the SDNY knew. Charles McGonigal, who's now apparently going to serve 78 months in prison, ran counterintelligence for the FBI in New York City, where Chairman Yi was dropping $50 million of cash for penthouses in Manhattan. So who you should be asking all these questions are the Department of Justice, the SDNY, the FBI, because they have troves of evidence that back up what was going on in July 2017 and in August 2017. So I apologize, Congressman, to be so passionate and to take your time, but this is what I need you guys, or the focus has to be of your Oversight Committee. This involved the Chinese Communist Party. They were doing a transaction with Rosneft, which was a Russian-sanctioned U.S.-sanctioned company at the time, and the Biden family was right front and center in the middle of it.
Thank you. I'll switch gears for a second. I wish Hunter Biden were here because I'd like to ask him about his taxes. I want to know if he paid his fair share, just like his dad's asked Americans to do. I want to know if he's current on his taxes, and if he isn't, I'd like to ask him when he plans to pay up. Mr. Bobulinski, you're a businessman. Did you pay your taxes?
I did.
Mr. Bobulinski, he actually pays his taxes. unlike the president's son, and yet Democrats on this committee act like Hunter is the believable one out of you two. Joe Biden has no right to lecture the American people about their taxes until he gets his own house in order. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Very good. Chair now recognizes Mr. Moskowitz for 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. By the way, how are you doing? Good? Okay. Mr. Bobulinski. Over here, how are you doing? Good.